Hey guys, it's Jessica with Expressions Final, and today I want to show you how to trace an image and manipulate it into a more customized image that you want. So I am going to go over to my files, and I have downloaded this Hello Summer pineapple image from 123rf.com. It's an image site. They have lots of different pictures that you can purchase. So I purchased this one. It was like $1. I thought it was really cute. So I am just going to get it from here, and I'm going to left click and I'm going to drag it and drop it into my Silhouette program. I'm going to drag it over here so we can see it and enlarge it a bit. All right, and now I'm going to open this blue and yellow box is the trace window. So I'm going to click on that and open it. And then I'm going to click on select trace area. And now if I click on my left mouse button and hold it down and drag over the image, this is where it's going to trace. So if I were to go like up here, you can see it's only going to trace that bottom, or the top part, excuse me. So, but if I click on this square right here and drag it down, it will get all of the image. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see. Now the parts that are yellow is the parts that it's going to trace. And I want it to trace, I want all the parts that are black, I want them to be yellow. So I'm going to go over here to this high pass filter, and I'm going to click on it and adjust the value up until all those black parts are yellow. So you can see that they have all filled in. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on trace the entire image because I want to get all these little bits inside. I want it to trace that. If I were just to click trace outer edge, it would just trace the outer edge of the pineapple. I'll show you. So when I pull that away, it just got the outside. If I undo and undo and then click on trace, it got all the little pieces in there that I want. So now I'm just going to go ahead and click delete on my keyboard and delete the original image. And now as you can see, this is all one piece, and I need to do some editing because I don't want all these little tiny bits to cut out, and anything that has a red line is where my machine is going to cut. So that's way more cutting than I want to do with my machine. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to release compound path, and that is going to separate out all the little tiny pieces. And now if I left click and drag across them, I can select a big area and then push delete on my keyboard, and it will get rid of all those little pieces. So I'm going to go around and do that all over. There's some parts in the inside that I want to keep, but all this top part I'm going to delete, and then I've got a few more around here that I want to delete. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so I can really see what I've got in the middle here. So I don't want this paradise, these letters that say paradise, so I'm going to drag over those and click delete. And then if I just click on one letter, I can delete each one at a time. I'm going to delete these little middle parts. They're kind of small. Delete the little dots that are inside my letters. I'm going to delete this aloha. There's just kind of a lot going on that I don't want all the little pieces for. All right, so the rest looks pretty good. I want to take these lines though, and I'm going to click on them. And I'm going to make this one a little bigger just by clicking on that corner piece and dragging it with my mouse. And then I'm going to go up here to the replicate window, and I am going to duplicate this below, and it's going to make another line, which I want, but I also want it longer. So now I have 3 lines instead of 2, and I'm just going to adjust the size, make it a little longer to kind of fill in that bottom part a little more. And now I'm going to select them all and drag them down a little bit. Drag this one down a little bit too. All right, now I see I still have a couple dots that I need to click on and delete. And it looks like my M is a little bit funky right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click. I just clicked twice with my mouse, and I am going to click right on that dot and delete point. And now if I click off of it, it's smoothed it out a little bit, but it's still kind of wonky right here. So I'm going to delete point, and that's looking a little better. Now it's not so weird. All right, so we've got that all good. We've got all our bits out in the middle. So now I'm going to back up a little bit, and I want to add some lines to my pineapple spike. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see, and I'm going to select over the entire thing, and I'm going to make this a little bigger so we can kind of see what's going on. And zoom in a little bit. Okay, now I want to draw some spikes to kind of accent up here. I'm going to go over here and click on Draw Smooth Freehand, and I am going to draw, if I left click and drag my mouse down, and I'm just going to hand draw in some spikes. And they don't have to be perfect, and I can go in and kind of adjust them, make them thinner. And I don't want them to be that perfect. I want them to look a little rough and like they are hand drawn. If I double click, I'm going to edit this one point so it kind of goes in a little bit more. And edit this point. Let's see, move that one over, bring this one here. Yeah, just so it's more in that tip. So you can just click on those and drag it where you want to go. So you can kind of fine tune your drawing. So I'm going to click back on my pencil, and I'm just going to keep drawing in these spikes. And like I said, they don't have to be perfect. So anywhere that these red lines are is where my machine will cut the vinyl. Make a little spike in there. So see, I've got these intersecting. I'm just going to move that up a little bit so it's on the inside of the pineapple. And then I'm going to grab this point and kind of drag him down a little bit. So keep drawing. And remember, you can always go in and adjust. See how I've got all these points crossing? I got to fix those. So we want this one to be on this side. And I want to thin this out a little bit. And you can always add points. So if I go just click on my line, it will make a point. And sometimes you need to do that to really fine tune things in. So I'm going to make another point right there. And then I can kind of adjust. Great. Okay. Now I'm going to go over and do this side. Same thing. Okay, so now I have my spikes all fixed and how I want. I'm going to take this, and I want another layer on the outside. So all my inside parts I want to be gold. So I'm going to click on my paint bucket up here, and I'm going to fill them in with the closest color to gold. So you can kind of see, I'm going to have a pink layer. I want my pineapple to be pink, and then the gold stuff on top. But I also want a gold outer edge. So I'm going to click, so I'm just clicked on the outside, and I am going to right click, and I'm going to click on offset. And now you can see I've got another layer behind that I can make thinner by clicking on the distance over here to the right, or I can make thicker. So I kind of like it how it is, and you can pick if you want sharper corners or rounded corners. And on this, it doesn't make much of a difference. If you were doing it on letters, you could see. And then I'm going to click apply. So this is going to be my gold edge. Then if I click on this outer edge again, I'm going to click on offset again, and that's going to give me another outside edge that I'm going to apply. So this inner one I want to be gold, and then this outer one is going to be pink. Now we've got all our things filled in. We need to separate it out so our machine is cutting gold and pink layers. You can see we've got all these squares. I am going to zoom out, and my material, I'm going to adjust that. So it's 12 inches wide and it's 15 inches long. And I want to fill as much of that as I can. So I'm going to grab these edges and make it bigger. as big as I can. And then I'm going to select everything. Then I'm going to come up here in my open the replicate window, and I'm going to duplicate this to the right. Okay, so I've got two images. One I'm going to make my pink image, and one I'm going to make my gold image. The first image I'm going to do is pink, so I'm going to delete out all my gold. So I'm just left with one big solid piece of pink. Then I'm going to go over to this one, and I'm going to delete out my big pink layer, and I'm going to cut this piece out of gold.